The government has been urged to factor in women living with disabilities when coming up with area-specific policies touching on climate change. In a forum organized by the Inclusive Climate Change Adaptation for a Sustainable Africa organization, women with disabilities decried the heavy burden of surviving in times of climate-related disasters.
Forum organized by the Inclusive Climate Change Adaption for a Sustainable Africa (ICASA) and other stakeholders in East Africa aimed at empowering indigenous, marginalized and minority women with disabilities to lead in climate action. Women with disabilities lamented the many hurdles they face in terms of climate-related disasters.
When they were talking about issues on green energy, and they made recommendations for women just to change from the charcoal and use green energy. Did somebody ever consider that green energy is very expensive and not affordable to the women with disabilities?
The mobility challenges in terms of evacuation and the high cost of mobility equipment further compound the situation.
Road infrastructures do not consider how people with disability are protected, especially in very bad climate hazards like flooding.
The women with disability are limited in terms of saving themselves, in terms of escaping. So we've realized that there is a challenge with infrastructure. What we have right now is not sufficient enough to allow them to face the climate disasters that are increasing by day.
They want collaborative efforts among all stakeholders in the community to elevate the adverse effects of such disasters on people living with disabilities in the country, especially women.
And if we don't design actions that target these different types of impairments, we end up only ticking the box but not actually addressing the reason why we want the people with disability to be included.
Let us be there from the implementation from the policy making to the implementation, and when it comes to even monitoring, just to see what has worked well for women with disabilities.
They at the same time decried inadequate representation in the leadership structure of the country, which they said has hampered them from voicing their grievances.
We need to have the voice of women with disabilities so that they also can give out what works well for them.
They would like to be part of the decision making, but at times where the meetings are held to make these decisions, where the meetings are held to design the interventions, they are not able to get there.
John Kahiro, Lunchtime News.